My name is Casey Subcheck, and I've had Parkinson's for at least 10 years.
My name is Joanne, and I have had Parkinson's diagnosed like just about 2 years now. I'm 71 and still making it.
Hi, I'm Bob Duman, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's that would be almost 3 years ago now.
My name's John Nalepa, and I think this is my third year of diagnosis.
Mike Farrell, around 2 years.
My name's Tony. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's in fall of 2017.
My name's Mike, 58 years old. I've had Parkinson's for going on 4 years now.
Yeah, my name is Ken Kuna. I was diagnosed in December of 2016, so it's been a little over 4 years.
It took a while because I didn't lose all the symptoms at once. They gradually happened. First I lost my sense of smell and taste, and then there was a couple of them, but that was 10 years ago, and I didn't put two and two together that that's what I had. My doctor diagnosed it about 5 years ago. Oh, I had it pretty bad. I had very timid, I could hardly walk. Just baby steps, very apprehensive on movement. Any kind of sudden movement was bad.
Well, actually it was a few years. I went to lots of different doctors because my voice was getting weaker. I had some vertigo. Anyway, I went to my primary care doctor and she said, I gave her all my symptoms and she said, I think I'm going to send you to a neurologist. And I said, what are you thinking? And she said, Parkinson's. Can I swear on this? And I said, oh,
Routine doctor visit, and she said, you know, I think you may have Parkinson's. I think you might want to see a neurologist. And so I scheduled that, and she came in, this neurologist came in and explained to me what the disease is, and that they have no way of finding out whether it is or not. I thought, well, that's a heck of a disease to have. I said, is that a death sentence? And she said, well, no, it's a quality sentence.
Well, at first I started to notice I was shaking real strongly on my left side. My brothers noticed that I was walking with a funny gait. And I talked to the doctor and he said, yep, you have Parkinson's. What is Parkinson's? Didn't have any idea what Parkinson's was. And that I got it late in life, so I'm not really scared of it. It's just very inconvenient. Like if I wanted to pick up small items in my left hand off the table, it was a comedy. I start scattering them all over the place. You don't drink soup next to me on my left side without getting wet.
I was going into my annual wellness appointment with my primary care physician and told him about a tremor I had in my left hand, particularly if it was holding something. And he said I needed a neurological workup. So I was assigned to a neurologist who diagnosed me about 2 years ago. I guess confusion, wondering really what it was I was getting myself into, or I'd gotten myself into. Maybe a little bit of denial too.
Yeah, well, it came on as quite a shock. I had this slowness in my left arm and leg, a little bit of dragging of my left foot. Doctor recommended I see a neurologist, and when she first suggested that it might be Parkinson's, it was quite the shock. Went into what I'd consider a mild state of depression, but just became very introverted, which is far from my normal self. I tried to delve into my work a little bit more, kind of keep my mind off it, because I think like a lot of folks, you go into this state of denial and try to just forget that it's there. But work became very difficult, which I had a role in speaking in front of large groups. That became more difficult. Creating PowerPoint presentations, using Excel spreadsheets, my typing, my writing, everything was affected. So it became pretty apparent that I needed to look at something a little different.
Doing work with my dad, fine motor skills, I was having a problem. he's 83, and we were both having the same problem with fine motor skills, and I thought, man, I better see a doctor. I noticed when my kids were really small, probably 30 years ago, I lost the sense of smell. And the last couple years before I was diagnosed, I noticed my handwriting was getting worse. And trying to get my credit card out of my wallet was a task, which made it difficult, and which kind of I need to do something. I need to look at a doctor. Something's wrong, you know. It was a crusher. After serving 28 years in the military and then retiring and flying with the local airport, and then getting diagnosed with Parkinson's. Not many airlines want a Parkinson's pilot, so it was kind of devastating. Probably 6 months or so, it was kind of like, why me? What did I do? You know, what did I get exposed to that gave me this terrible disease?
Well, it's always a surprise. I mean, I knew I was slowing down a little bit, but you figure you'll slow down a little bit with age. Nothing like this I was prepared for. And so it took me about 9 months to really step up to it. I didn't take any medications, fought taking medications, fought exercise, anything to treat the disease, learning more about it. But finally, we came around and I had to accept the fact that it was there. I got a second diagnosis. And my decision at that point in time was to fight back as hard as I could.
There's many facets of it. It's working with the other people in the group who we share experiences, so that we're not alone. Like one of the things that everybody suffers from is constipation. Nobody likes to talk about that, but it's very important in life. Well, I like this method that we have here because we're doing a combination of boxing and other calisthenics that are important to keep movement. Rock Steady Boxing has helped me with communicating with the other members of the group, helped me with physically exercising. That's huge. If you don't exercise, you're not going to burn calories. You're not going to poop. So that's so important. But everybody's afraid to talk about it.
Rock Steady Boxing has helped me keep a good perspective on life, and you build a community of people that are here. You get to meet a lot of people and who have a lot of similar struggles.
Well, so far it's helped me with being disciplined and coming, and I'm beginning to loosen up. My muscles are beginning to feel better. I started the process of painting my house, which I couldn't do last summer. I couldn't pick up a brush. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, Rock Steady Boxing has helped me tremendously in getting the fine motor skills in a remissive state where I'm not shaking too much or unable to do some things that before I thought were impossible. So Rock Steady Boxing is really beneficial to that.
Well, my biggest challenge right now is balance and endurance in walking, because I have a fused right ankle, which limits my mobility. And I think that it has helped me in my balance, keep me balanced. It's also puts me in a routine where I'm doing a workout 4 days a week for sure, and pretty intense at times. And so I think that that's important to do. And so I came here pretty quickly after diagnosis, and it took me about a year before I finally joined. Or, well, maybe not that long, maybe 8 or 9 months, but I found out about it, and I came and learned about it pretty quickly. So I wasn't out by myself for a long period of time.
Well, Rock Steady Boxing has helped me with quite a few things. Probably mainly is building confidence. I really lost a lot of my confidence and ability to feel that I could accomplish things, which since coming to Rock Steady Boxing, my confidence has increased quite a bit. My coordination, my balance, use of my left side has improved drastically. But probably more than anything, it's the community that I now have that I didn't have before. And the camaraderie with this group is second to none, and Virginia really caters to all of our needs, understanding Parkinson's better than most of us, and she doesn't have Parkinson's. but she's dedicated her life, in my mind, to really understanding all the issues we face on a daily basis and tries to incorporate into her circuits things that we struggle with that help us, I guess, get better at what we are not so good at any longer.
Since I started this, I think I've kind of stayed ahead of the degeneration process. I know I've lost a little bit, but I can imagine if I didn't do anything, I probably would be a lot, maybe even in the walker by now, after 3 or 4 years of rock steady boxing. I think mental fitness basically helps me the most. I think it keeps me going to come here 4 days a week and visit friends that have the same condition, but also stay in shape.
Oh, since I started here, it's helped me with just about everything I do. Learning a little bit about fasciitis and fascia. I treat myself a little bit in the morning when I get up. It gives me good mobility. The rigorous exercise at Rocksteady is what I really need. I've tried things like bicycle. I've tried yoga. I've gotten a sense of control over my disease. I find that if I just give in to the disease, it just deteriorates. I can feel the deterioration. But coming here and fighting back, I always leave feeling better than when I walked in the door, because that rigor of the exercise really pumps the brain a little bit and gives me that energy that I'm missing.
Well, it's devastating, you know, because it's a progressive disease. But, you know, my doctor gave me the best advice. He said, go live your best life, and that's what you got to do. And this is a commitment for me to come here 4 days a week. It's my job. That's the way I look at it. Don't be ashamed. Talk about it. Share it. Join Rocksteady Boxing.
Yeah, I would go back to what I said before. I said, this is not a death sentence. This is a quality of life sentence, and you can do something about it. And you can improve or continue to live a useful life with it.
Well, a lot of people, I don't think, don't realize they have it. They have it and they don't admit it to themselves that they have it. And it's beneficial to get something such as this to alleviate your doubts and make you more confident in doing things.
Well, I'd say that LSVT Big was very helpful to me. It definitely changed the way in which I perceived my movement. With Parkinson's, you start having smaller movements, slower movements, and so on, and this is a way to overcome that, at least make you aware so that you consciously are doing things bigger. And I'd say definitely get into Rocksteady Boxing because of the camaraderie as well as the exercise.
Well, more than anything, that there's communities out there of Parkinson patients that are always willing to reach their arms out and help. But if you haven't considered a Rocksteady Boxing facility, do yourself a favor, look into it. It really helps in so many different ways. I know I'm missing several things that it's done for me and for a lot of us, but you won't know until you give it a try. It really improves your confidence, your courage, your ability to do things that you weren't able to do in the past.
Don't wait. If something seems not off, go get it checked out. See if you can get it diagnosed so you can stay ahead of it by exercising. And medicines has helped me keep pep in my step, I guess.
I guess what I would advise anybody is to take control of your situation. You can do some things about this. Take your medication, be rigorous about taking your medication, fight back in some form of exercise that really gets your heart pumping, gets your brain moving, helps your coordination. My big issue is balance, and I see it even during the day when I'm here, my balance improving. Sure, it's tiring, but I always leave feeling better than I walked in the door.